Это без имени продакшн.
I don't like to admit it, but the new Acer Nitro 5 looks aesthetically a lot better than the previous year's Nitro. But do we really get the improved internals? We will find out that later in the video. But first, if you are new to the channel, then consider subscribing. It is as easy as it looks. Just press that fabulous red button as hard as you can and you're good to go. So let's dig deep into the review and we will start with the specifications. It is an Intel Core i7-12700H CPU with 6 performance cores, 8 efficiency cores and a total of 20 threads. An NVIDIA RTX 3050 Ti GPU with 4GB VRAM, 75W of base TGP and 20W of dynamic boost, for a total peak power of 95 watts. A 16GB dual channel DDR5 RAM with a frequency of 3200 MHz, a 15.6-inch Full HD IPS display with a refresh rate of 144Hz, 512GB of M.2 NVMe SSD, and last but not the least, a 1TB hard drive. So first and foremost, let us discuss design and construction. This time, Acer has taken a different approach. Its new device weighs 300 grams more, up to 2.5 kilograms. It is also a bigger boy than last time, measuring 25.9 to 26.9 millimeters. Fortunately, there is a significant benefit to this. The base is extremely sturdy and the laptop overall feels like it has a well-built chassis, despite the plastic body. The design is relatively clean with some lines printed around it. There are a couple of rather aggressive vents on the back side. The lid can be opened with one hand in this case. Its hinges are relatively stable with some bounce visible when the surface it sits on is bumped. Despite this, the bezels surrounding the matte display are thin, except for the bottom one. And the top one houses an HD web camera. Moving to the keyboard, we see a single zone RGB backlight. The keyboard works well with good key travel, clicky feedback, a number pad and large arrow keys. You also get a shortcut to NitroSense app. The touchpad surface is fairly smooth, but the clicking mechanism only works well in the lower 70% of the area. A quick glance at the bottom panel reveals the speaker cutouts and ventilation grill. A small amount of cool air is also drawn through the keyboard. What's more, there are 4 exhaust vents, 2 on the back and 1 on each side. For the ports, on the left side there is a LAN port, a USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type A port and an audio jack. On the right, there are 2 USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type A ports, while the back has an HDMI 2.1 connector, a Thunderbolt 4 port and the power plug. Now we will look at the upgrading options. As you can see, a metal bracket protects the memory and you screw the single screw and pull it over. This reveals 2 DDR5 SODIMM slots. There are 2 M.2 PCI X4 slots for storage, both of which fit Gen 4 drives and support RAID 0. In addition, there is a 2.5-inch SATA drive bay. Inside the box are the mounting accessories. Cooling wise, you get a total of 3 heat pipes, 4 heat sinks and 2 fans. The graphic memory and the VRMs are also being cooled down. It's worth noting that we have the RTX 3050 Ti version. Acer Nitro 5 in the configuration we has tested has a Full HD IPS panel with 144Hz refresh rate, wide viewing angles and a good contrast ratio. Its backlight doesn't flicker, which makes the display comfortable for long gaming periods. On the other hand, it covers only half of the color found on the web, which makes it a bit dull to look at. Surprisingly, the battery life is also on your side. The 59Wh unit here lasts for 8 hours and half of web browsing, or about 6 hours of video playback. This is okay for gaming device, but it can't hold a candle to the Asus TUF Gaming A15 and its 14 hours of web browsing. Now moving towards CPU performance, we will start with everyone's favorite Cinebench R23 multi-threading. Even at 45W, the Core i7-12700H outperforms all other contenders, including the Ryzen 9 5900HX and Apple's M1 Pro. This is a 27% improvement over the Core i7-11800H, a 21% improvement over the Ryzen 7 5800H, and a 12% improvement over the Ryzen 9 5900HX. It is also 8% faster than Apple's Silicon, though the M1 Pro consumes slightly less power in this workload. However, among the x86 processors, the 12700H appears to be the best in terms of performance per watt in this workload. Intel has a resounding victory in the single-threaded workload. The P cores running at up to 4.7 GHz crushes Cinebench R23, outperforming everything else in the field by a wide margin. It is 22% faster than the 11800H, 26% faster than the 5800H, 20% faster than the 5900HX, and a very solid 18% faster than the Apple's M1 Pro. This is achieved without using more single-threaded power than the other x86 processors, despite the fact that the ARM-based M1 Pro is significantly more efficient. In Adobe Photoshop, the 12700H is a true beast. The 12700H destroys the 11800H thanks to a combination of higher lightly threaded performance, faster integrated graphics, faster memory, and better cache system. It's 45% faster, the second highest margin recorded between these two parts after Excel. This gives Intel a commanding lead over AMD as well. Alder Lake is 33% faster than the Ryzen 9 5900HX, so if you are a heavy Photoshop user, you will want it. The Core i7-12700H is the fastest CPU we have tested in Adobe Premiere Pro to date. Overall, the CPU configuration outperforms the Apple M1 Pro and previous generation processors. It particularly dominates Ryzen. Adobe After Effects is yet another CPU-GPU workload. The 12700H is a beast, far outperforming previous generation setups. We are looking at a 25% performance boost over 11800H and 5900HX system. In FL Studio, however, Alder Lake does not outperform older processors. While the CPU still exports a track well and uses both performance cores and efficiency cores, I suspect that the efficiency cores are a bit of hindrance here given the performance difference versus the performance cores. And as we know, audio workloads are highly sensitive, so this could explain what we are seeing. The Core i7-12700H excels at code compilation, which has been boosted by the upgrade to DDR5 memory, which we expect to see in the majority of gaming laptops in 2022. In this workload, the 12700H is 37% faster than the i7-11800H and 36% faster than the Ryzen 7 5800H. So, if you need to do a lot of compiling on the go, the 12700H is clearly superior to previous generation products, and it's not even close. Now moving toward power consumption. When compared to the AMD processors like the 5900HX and 5800H, the 12700H is slightly to moderately more efficient at low power levels. However, this margin expands significantly between 65 watt and 75 watt, where Ryzen begins to taper off. While the 12700H is faster at all power levels, it excels in upper range, where the most powerful laptops will be able to run. The GPU in this laptop is RTX 3050 Ti, which has a base TGP of 75 watts that can be increased to 95 watts by using 20 watt of dynamic boost.
Lost him.
Can't be far.
Wait, hold on. Cut your engine.
Shit, she's alive. Alvarez. Alvarez, hey. Alvarez. What happened here? I mean, who did this? Was it Rippers?
Leon did this. Beginning ring countdown.
We're inside the ring. One less thing to worry about. Energy.
The Nitro 5 clearly shows that Acer has made significant progress. Its cooling is significantly improved and performance is simply out of this world. Essentially, this means that the Team Blue is responsible for a significant portion of Acer's success. However, this does not imply that it owes the entire amount. The manufacturer has done everything possible to increase the laptop size and weight while maintaining its attractiveness. If you want a gaming notebook but are on a tight budget, the Nitro 5 is an excellent option. It has everything you need for a high FPS gaming, and even the entry-level Core i5 version is a beast, completely obliterating every CPU from last year. So that's it for the video, and if you want to buy this laptop or any other variant, you can find the best buying links in the description box, so make sure to check them out. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please like it. If you want more videos like this in the future, then subscribe and click the bell icon. See you here in another video. Goodbye until then.